Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture in MS Excel section. In this video we will see how we can apply a function Vlookup, why we cannot apply Vlookup from the right side to the left side. We will also see why Vlookup doesn't work like we want it. And then we will discuss two different methods for applying Vlookup from the right side to the left side. So first take a look at we have our employees table here, and on the other sheet we have department number, department name and location. So we will use VLOOKUP to get this department name and location to this sheet. So we will use this department number as a lookup value, and we will match this lookup value to this column, this department number. Then we will get department name and location. So let's see how we can do this. We will start typing the formula VLOOKUP, and first it is asking for the lookup value. So we will give the department number column value, that's 20, and then it is asking for table array. So we will go to the next sheet, and then we will select the column department number, and then we will move to the location. So the next thing it will ask, it will be column index number. So we can see that our value will match in the column A. Then we need to give a column index number. So dname column is the second column from the department number, so we will mark 2 here, and then we will select exact match in the range lookup column, or we can give value 0. And then we will copy this formula in the entire column, but the formula doesn't work. So we will see why the formula is not working. So first we will check the first column. It is showing H2, which is okay, and then department A1 to C5, which is also okay, then column index number 2, and then 0. So the first row is okay. Then we will move to the second row, and then we will notice that the reference of this table array has been changed when we copied the formula from the first row to the second row. So either we can replace all those table references by department A1 colon C5, or we can do some modifications in the first formula, and then we will copy it in all the rows. So there is a symbol available in Excel, a dollar symbol, which is used to give a absolute reference. Now we will put a dollar sign in front of A and 1 and C and 5, and then we will copy this formula again, and now this time it works. So it is our D name, and then we will try to get the location 2. So let's see if we can drag this formula to the right, but no, it does not work this way. So we will make some more modifications to the formula of the first row. We will give an absolute reference to the column H. So when we are going to duplicate the formula from the next column, the column H will remain same. So but we see that both the columns are showing the same data. So if we see that it is showing column index number 2, which has not changed when we duplicate the formula from first column to the second. So we will try to change this column index number dynamically. Let's use formula column. We see that this formula is returning value 9, but in this first column we require the value 2, so we will subtract 7 from this, and then if we duplicate this formula to the next column, we see that we can see the value 3. So we will copy this formula and we will put this formula in place of column index number here, and then we will duplicate this formula in both of the columns in all rows. Otherwise, if you find this a little complex, then you can use the static value 3 here and the formula will work as same. So now we will see what difference the range lookup attribute makes. So let's copy this formula again. In the next cell, and then put this as 1. Oh, it is showing reference, so we will use this value as 2. So we can see that both the columns are showing same values, all are true. So it is showing same result because all the values in the department number matches with the values department number in this column. But what happens if we put a value which is not available in this department number? So let's make this 30 as 50 because 50 is not available in that table. So here is the difference. When the value does not match, so this formula is showing not available, but this formula is showing the value which is nearest to the value of 50. So 40 is the code for operations, but it is showing operations for 52. That's why we always want to put a 0 in this last attribute. But we will also see how making this 1 will make things work in other cases. Now we will see in which grade an employee falls according to his salary. So let's make a column grade, and we have this table cell grade where there is a range available according to the grades. Grade 1 is from 700 to 1200 and others are in the increasing order. We know that when we put range lookup attribute as one of Vlookup, it returns the corresponding value to the value just smaller than the lookup value. For example, if we are trying to find this 800 in this range, then we will not find 800, but it will pick the corresponding value to the 700 because 700 is just smaller than 800. So it will pick 1 from the grade. But there is a problem that we cannot apply VLOOKUP from this column to this column. So we can do two things. Either we can move this column to this side, or we can use different VLOOKUP methods that we will discuss later. First we will just shift this column from this side to this side, and then we will apply the VLOOKUP salary, then low salary, then column index number 2, and then I will put 1 here, and then we will duplicate the formula, and this works. So we get our correct values. So we have seen that putting range lookup as 1 sometimes make things work. So now we will try to apply VLOOKUP from right to left, but first we will replace these formulas with values. We can also replace these as values. So now we will move this column back to its place, and then we will apply a method using match and index function. So now we will type match function, and then we will select the lookup value as salary. Then we will select the lookup array. Remember that we only need to select the lookup array only single column. And the next is match type, which is similar to the range lookup in VLOOKUP, and we also get one more mode, that is greater than, but we will use the less than mode just like we used in VLOOKUP. So it is 2. Don't worry, it is not the final result. It is showing me the row number of this value 1. So sorry, this value 700, and it is showing the row number of 700. So let's see, it is showing 5 when the value is 2975. So fifth row is this 2001. So I think our result is good. So next we will use the index function, which is used to get the value from an array using its index. So we have got the index, only we need to provide an array to select. So we will type the index function, and we need to provide the array. So now we will choose this array, this final result array, and then we will apply the row number as this, and then we will close this formula. We don't need to provide the column number because we are working in a single column array. So we'll duplicate this formula, and then we will check the difference. There is no difference, both results are same. We can also combine this formula into a single formula by placing this match function within this value, and then now we can remove this column, and it shows the same result. There is another method we can use by using VLOOKUP and choose function. So first let's see how choose function works. So let's provide 1 as index number, and then well, for value 1 we say red, for value 2 we say green, for value 3 we say blue. So, and it is showing red, it means it is showing the first value. And if we put 2 here, it will show me the second value. Good thing about choose function is that we can also choose ranges instead of values. Like if we want to choose the second column from this range, we say this is I is the first column and JJ is the second column. JJ is the second column. We see that we have provided I column as the first column, but it is showing the second column. We can do one more thing. If we give this as a reference, and we say second column comes first and first column comes second, then it also works. We cannot visualize this on a spreadsheet, but it is actually doing that. It is shifting JJ column to in the location of II column and II column in the location of JJ column. So what this function is doing, it is virtually shifting I column to the right side of the J column. So let's see how this will work in the Vlookup. So let's apply Vlookup and then select salary as a lookup value. And then we will go for the table array. Now we will use choose function here, and then we will say second, first, and then first, and then we will select the first column here and the second column, and then we will provide one. Sorry, we need to close the brackets first, and then we will provide 2 as a column index, and then we will provide 1 as a range lookup value. No, we need to provide range lookup value 1. So it is not working, maybe because I have provided the entire column as a reference and it is not able to process it. So we will limit our reference here. What we can do, we will delete this reference, and then we will try to reselect. Okay, so first this, now we are just selecting the where data is available, and then the second one. So now again we need to freeze the reference by putting $sign, and then I think the result is good. Yes, no difference. Results are same, but I can see some slowness in this Vlookup and choose function, and when we used index and match, it was very quick to show results. But when we are choosing when we are using Vlookup and choose function, this I kind of taking a little more time. It is not noticeable, but if we are working on a large data set, then it will take a lot more time than index and match. So instead of using Vlookup and choose, we should use index and match instead of this. But shifting the column to the left side of the data is still the fastest method for applying this Vlookup. So that's all for this presentation. Thank you.